Hello everybody, welcome back to another video where I talk about planners, etc. No game today. We'll do that again next time. First, I wanted to update you guys on the action planners that were undated that I actually saw last time, that I showed you last time as well. And I went back to the action, because I usually do, and I found a third one, and it's this one. So this one is pretty much the same, except that it has a slightly different color tassel. Inside is a little bit more fall colored, and these browns and reds, etc. are in here. Of course, the rest is exactly the same. The same undated weeklies with the to-dos. Pretty good. Let's take a quick look at the sticker sheets in the back, if I can grab that real quick. That's the second one. Here is the first one right there. So this one has more of a flower design, as you can see, more fall flower, more fall colors. Would be nice for this time of year. And these are the standard ones that come at the end. So I also saw, while I was there, another copy of this one, and it did have a tassel. So they just took the tassel off of this one for some reason. It was about this color that was on there, so you may still be able to find one at your local action if you wanted one, either one of these three, because I think these were the only three designs that they actually had. I haven't seen any other designs, but I will keep you posted, of course, because I keep going back to the action. If I see a fourth design, I'll be sure to grab it, because of course I like the design on the inside, the to-do lists, so to speak, per day, and the undatedness of the planners. Always good to have one on hand in case you run out of other things. But okay, that's these guys. Editing me in here from the future, just to quickly tell you the point of the video before I go into my incredibly chaotic rant that I'm about to do, or have done, because of course this is the future. The point of this video is that we often buy journals, but we don't really know exactly what we really like in a journal and what we really need. Like, usually we'll buy something because it's pretty, and we have all sorts of ideas about how we're going to use it, but how do we actually use journals? Like, what do we actually end up writing? An amount of space do we need, etc.? Do we like ring bound, or etc., etc.? Do you like A6 or like A5? Do you actually fill those sizes? So that's kind of like the point of this. And now into my rambling part of the video. Hope you'll enjoy. Okay, so what I actually wanted to talk about today is you've probably got a whole stack of notebooks sitting around somewhere, maybe several stacks, maybe a box, maybe 2 boxes, or maybe 3 boxes like myself, and counting. And with each journal or notebook that you buy, you say to yourself, I'm going to really use this one for XYZ. I'm going to start tracking my mood. I'm going to start tracking my fitness. I'm going to start tracking how many steps I've walked and what my calorie intake is. Whatever it is, I'm going to journal about a holiday that I'm on, or whatever. Do all the fun things that you see other people do on Instagram, on YouTube, etc. And then you actually don't after a while. Maybe you'll keep it up for a couple of months, maybe even like half a year, or maybe just a few pages. But eventually the rest of that notebook sits empty, and then you feel like you've failed that notebook. And there's also the chance that you'll buy another one when you're out and about, like I tend to do. I've got lots of them. I've got like a small stack just sitting here, like over here. And these are just a few that I've just managed to pull from a little stack that's near me. So this one's very cute. I got this one on sale, and this is from the Harry Potter Deathly Hallows. It's got a very nice design on the inside with a ribbon for keeping your place. Not that I need that, because I haven't actually done anything with it. It's got a very nice design in the corner there as well. So, very nice. Decent paper. Very cute. This is embroidered over here. The other side is just blank, except for insides. I thought I was going to use this for some type of journaling. Not entirely sure what. But didn't actually go past 2 pages. So I took out the first little, what do you call that? Little, pages tend to come in little folded sections, so I took out the first section and to make sure that the book itself did not look damaged, and then I put it in the attic. Basically the same with this one. I like bees, so when I saw this and how it's kind of like a thin little exercise book type of journal with a date and a weather tracker, it's like, okay, this is it. I'm going to use this for journaling. I'm not going to push myself, but I'm going to do all of my journaling in here from now on. That also did not work, so that goes on the pile. This one, from the action, I thought I would do a little bit more with this one because it has a ring bound, or rather a O-ring or whatever spiral back, so that I can keep it open, which is one of the prerequisites that I've always given myself. Like, if it's open, I'll see it, I'll do stuff with it. And as you can see, I didn't really do any of that. I did put a pen loop in the back from the HEMA, I believe, or wherever. And then I think I wrote 2 more pages and that was it. So that's you. And the pages that I did write in there, I didn't throw them away. I just put them together in a ring bound system to like keep them at some level anyway, but I didn't actually use them beyond that. This I got at the Aldi, actually. It's called Soul Book. It's actually just a bullet journal, but I don't really tend to do much bullet journaling. That's it. Very nice, empty. Does have a pocket in the back, etc., etc. It's not bad, but I didn't actually use it again, so back onto the pile it goes. These, this, that, these are all from the HEMA. This one's very cute. I love the design. I like this type of, what do you call this? Like a Nightmare, no, not Nightmare on Elm Street, Nightmare Before Christmas, or that type of Beetlejuice style coloring, and I like the closure. It's kind of like a circus tent as well. But again, nothing much happening here. These are really nice thin pages. And I usually got the really thick ones. This isn't even the thickest one over here. I think this is 300 and something pages, 320 pages of 80 grams. I used to get the really thick ones, particularly when I was like really stressed. A little side tangent here. So for a while, my dad lived in a care home, and particularly at the start, because he lived there for 2 years before he passed. After he moved in there recently, every time I went to visit him, I would be stressed by the time that I left, and I would pass by a little shopping mall center on the way home, and there was a HEMA, and they always have lovely stationery, so I would end up buying another one of these, or another really thick one of this type with the little binding over here. So I have a whole bunch of these really thick ones, and thicker ones than this, like 480 pages, that I don't actually do anything with because it gives me a little dopamine hit, but other than that, that's it. So I think that's also part of the problem, but still wanted to use it, didn't, so that one also goes in the pile. The HEMA again, these are kind of like the traveler's notebook things because they have these elastics in the back with all these inserts. These inserts are for like $1 each or something, available at the HEMA as well. You've got the lined, you've got I think a weekly planner insert and a dot grid, pretty sure I said off my head. And I don't really like these tabs. They're very stiff and annoying, and writing in this is not super comfortable for me. But they are cute, and I got this one just because I liked it. I've been looking at it for a very long time, trying not to buy it, but then I caved and I got it. Haven't used it, so there's another one. Last example before I move on to what I actually wanted to talk about. Also from the HEMA, really, really thick, this one. How many pages? This is also 320. Oh, it's 100 gram. Okay, that makes it seem a lot thicker than the other 320 pages. But this one, I also got a little pen loop in the back. For this one, it's soft and thick. And again, with the stripes, love it. It's got a lovely little bookmark type thing, ribbon with a Miffy pendant on it. Also didn't use that. So, yeah. Like I said, I bought a lot of them because it gives me a little dopamine hit when I do buy them. Ooh, a fresh new journal, fresh new start. That start kind of happens, but then the middle and the finish never actually occurs, and that's very disappointing. So instead, I was thinking, why don't we try to limit the amount of pages that we actually have to fill by buying smaller, thinner notebooks. I've got a couple of different ones here. Initially, I thought I was going to do that with these, but these are also kind of thick still. I mean, they're smaller pages, and you could definitely write less on here, so you don't even need that much input to fill a page per day. But even then, I'm kind of struggling to put anything in here, so I didn't quite finish any one of these yet, because these came in like packs of 3. I think whenever I see something new that I like, I start collecting colors, and there were like different color options. So I think I bought like 9 of these in total, like 3 packs of 3. But that is an option if you do actually have something to write about, but just not enough to fill a full A5 sheets. You could get, what is this, a B6 or something? Something smaller. Another option is one of these little notebooks that you also have less pages in, but it is a wire bound, so you can just kind of do this, leave it open, and occasionally take a note. I tend to do most of my shopping lists on things like this, but also I wanted to quickly show you, where is it? Yeah, this. Talking about filling pages, if you feel like you want to write something but you don't know what to write about, then just scribbling away can also be very nice and therapeutic. I already did a couple of lines over here on this side, like sometimes I just don't know what it is that I want to get out of my system, but you can also just kind of do some of this and just pretend that you're writing, and occasionally try a different method of putting your pen to paper, etc., like that. And it looks very scribbly, but you know, that's the point. It's just a fun little exercise to, I guess, get stuff off of your mind without actually writing anything down. But I also have a whole bunch of these guys. Now, these are actually photo memo booklets. I got these at a secondhand store for a couple cents each. I think 10 cents per 3 or something. They were like super cheap. These obviously have a whole bunch of print in there that I'm never actually going to use because I'm not shooting any rolls of film. But I tend to not care about what's written in here. I thought I would just kind of fill these with some text occasionally. It's nice and thin in any case, so I would be able to finish this a lot faster. But, well, I have a whole bunch of these, so I actually haven't really given myself a chance to finish one because I keep picking up a new one. I need to be more disciplined about what I actually use each booklet for. But that is an option. These are kind of the same size as field notes, but much cheaper. So it's kind of like having field notes that are a lot cheaper, literally, because field notes, for whatever reason, maybe because of the brand, they are super expensive. Now, this one isn't kind of like the lesser pages thing that drew me to it, but mostly the size and shape of this. It's an A7 size, and it's so thick, but that also makes it very nice to hold on, kind of like a therapeutic sense, basically. And over here, put some stickers in. This is just my having some fun notebook that kind of lays on my desk, and I also bought a whole bunch of extras, so that's kind of what I'm doing right now. I've also put stickers on these pages so that I have even less space to write on, and that also just makes it a lot easier to occasionally just pick it up, write a few sentences, and then be done with it. And just gonna take ages to fill this. And then I found that these were actually no longer being produced, or at least I couldn't find any new ones. Everybody else was out of stock, so I went back to the store, the physical store where I got the first one. And I got another 4 or 5 downstairs just in case I ever finish this. And otherwise, just to put my mind at ease. Anyway, so this probably won't get finished in a very long time, but it'll just be fun. I also made it fun for myself, putting some stickers on there just for entertainment purposes only. And it's got its own little bookmark that it came with. But this is just for fun. The last thing that I want to bring up is this thing that I saw. I think I've gotten off track here, but okay, that's just my AuDHD talking. Hope you're still with me. So the last thing that I saw that I thought would be more toward giving me some feeling of success was this video where somebody had an Ever book, I think it was called, from Traveler's Company. And it's just the Traveler's Notebook type cover, but I think with 3 sections, and then a clip in the middle where you keep a bunch of loose pages. And I went looking for just a clip, thinking I can get my own little cover to put stuff in. And the online website where I could get one of those clips listed it for about $60, and I thought, okay, that's very expensive for something that I'm not even sure I'm gonna enjoy using, so I'm definitely not doing that. So I scrounged together my own little system here. This thing I got for, I think, 75 cents or €1 or $1 at a secondhand store. This is from the HEMA again, came in a set of 6 for a couple of bucks. And then on the inside, all you have is just a couple of loose sheets. on a clip. And when these sheets are done, you've basically filled the notebook, so to speak. So you can maybe take a few extra sheets out, put a few extra sheets in. This is also where most of the paper from all the notebooks that I'm currently just kind of not really using are eventually going to go to, because these sheets were originally inside another notebook, and I just kind of cut the back off so that it would be loose sheets, and then I can clip them on here. And then that is my Everbook, sorta, kinda. And that is something I'm looking to try right now, to make sure to fill this up, just to have some experience of actually reaching the end of any sort of notebook. And then when I fill a page, I'm going to put the filled pages inside one of these success agendas. I'm just going to go ahead and use a hole punch like this one and get the holes in the page, put all the filled pages in here, then they're out over here, and then I can put new pages in there. And then that will be a success experience. And maybe I can use this to kind of train myself to maybe want to write more so I can reach the end of the stack faster. It's only like 6 sheets right now. That should be doable. Like maybe I can do some, I don't know, on-the-go journaling or something to fill it faster, or I don't know what I would be writing about, but just to give myself more permission to write sloppily as well, because I can just take all the sheets out that I think are too ugly. And that's another thing with notebooks, you don't want to ruin them, but if you ruin one of these sheets, you can just take it out and it's perfectly good. There's no damage, it's just one sheet less, and it's also one sheet less to fill. So it's kind of just a mini clipbook that you take with you, basically. This is also a letter. Do I still have the note with this one? It came with a little note to say what it was originally. I think it's in here. I may have shown it on a previous video for some other reason. Camel Active. A letter Camel Active utility case. Must have for anyone who wants to be organized and fashionable when on the go. The insert pocket lets you safely and practically stow business cards, boarding passes, passport, chair, etc., etc. And then the same thing in German. So yeah, this is definitely a letter travel case, they were calling it here, or utility case. So I've got the expensive letter feel for a couple of bucks. And I've got the experience of having an Everbook, I guess you could call that, with a very cheap clip that does the same job as the expensive one. So I'm thinking, gotta give this a try. Hope that is successful and that we're gonna have some fun with this. In any case, it's definitely small enough for me to put it in my work bag, because I notice that I only really tend to journal when I've got a table to put stuff on. I'm not going to do that on the train much because it makes my handwriting super sloppy, or anywhere else where I'd be like walking around or in the car. I don't tend to do that. I don't tend to grab for these things. Then I only really do that when I'm at my desk, either at work, at home, or I don't know, somewhere else, the library if I ever go there, or a coffee shop. I need a table to put something on so I can just comfortably write without like trying to balance it and everything like that. There is that. So that is my whole story about journals and why I'm trying to buy less big ones. I'm trying to get the ones that I think I'm actually going to fill, etc. And then also keep the pages that I filled in one of these to make sure that I don't toss things. Unless they're super ugly, then I'm going to toss them anyway because it's just a shopping list or something. Like over here, I got another one that I wanted to show you. But this is one of those mini rings, which I don't kind of want to use because of the rings being kind of thick in my pocket. But I tend to use it mostly for like groceries and stuff like that. So you can see here that I wanted to get some pancake mix, etc., etc. And on the other side, the same thing. Oh, this is Rocker US. This is when I was trying to switch to Linux. Okay, different thing. But okay, just small notes that I don't tend to want to keep. I just toss them after a while when they're no longer useful. I'm not going to keep this. But for other things, I could use something like this, or any one of these, really. Hope you enjoyed it anyway, and hope to see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye for now.